We are on to week 2 of the Alphabet Superset. We are creating for the letter B. Here I'm painting a bee eater and begonias. Bee eaters are very adorable, beautiful birds that smash bees against rocks to get rid of their stingers so that they can eat them without hurting themselves. How cool. I've tried to keep this painting a little looser than last week's. I enjoy Impressionism, so keeping it a little bit more relaxed helps to just bring the piece together without a lot of stress. Sometimes you have to just trust your audience to fill in the details. I like working with lighting and color. This was fun. Begonias I thought were ugly when I first saw them, but they have definitely grown on me. There's a lot of variety in these flowers and plants. I personally really love this variety where it's multiple layers of petals. They're like little roses. I think that's sweet. This color palette was really fun to work with, very bright and playful. My palette for this painting was alizarin crimson, Naples yellow hue, and manganese blue hue. All of these were a little new to me. I used the Naples yellow in last week's painting, mainly because my cadmium yellow has dried out. Actually, the cap completely fell off and won't go back on, so it's a lot of wasted paint, which is frustrating. However, I enjoy this softer yellow. It's a little bit easier to mellow out. I thought the desaturated tone would result in flat paintings, but I'm actually really loving how it mixes with my colors. As with the crimson, I love how deep this red is. Again, I've always used cadmium red, so switching up my palette with slightly different hues is really cool. I really want to encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zone and switch up your primaries a little bit, because you're going to see a whole new range of colors. I understand certain hues will mix together differently, some better than others. Some will muddy up if mixed together. However, I think in the future, I want to maybe paint a series exploring the differences of these different primary colors and see what I actually think fits my style more. Ultimately, I don't want to box myself into only using the same palette over and over again. I want to explore these colors and see what works best for different lighting situations. I am so psyched. I know it's not quite autumn yet, but the weather is starting to cool down. I've been able to keep my patio door open, just listen to the birds in the mornings and the crickets at night. My cats are loving going on the patio and watching birds. It's just awesome. But there are mornings dipping down into the 60s. I have autumn fever. I convinced my husband to take me to Trader Joe's and get me all of the little autumn treats and drinks. I am such a basic white girl. Lord help me. I seriously love spiced foods, such as like clove and nutmeg, those kinds of spices. I love autumn so much. And it was really fun taking my son to Trader Joe's because they had so many pumpkins. My son was smiling and loving it so much. There was these fun textures, new fruit and colors to see. He was beaming. It was really cool seeing him experience these things that are so familiar to me, but are so brand new to him. I love it. Hopefully he'll love autumn as much as I do. It was funny. At the store, one worker was just oohing and awing over how adorable my son is. He's got cheeks and rolls for days, and he's such a smiley kid. But it was funny though, like so many of the workers had to drop what they were doing and run over and see him. I don't know, like, is that common or is my baby just insanely cute? Other moms, do you experience that when you go out with your babies? I'm really curious what he's gonna be like as he toddles about. He's not quite walking yet. Like I said, he's only 6 months old. However, he is starting to stand, so I fear that he's going to be walking soon. A lot of my friends, their babies were full on running around at 9 months old, and that's not that far away. I'm nervous. I personally didn't start walking until I was 18 months. I feel like babies are changing. They're progressing faster than they used to. It's crazy. Gen Alpha. Wow. I'm excited to see what you do. was really fun to block in the background here. I used a really old brush. I wish I had used one of my newer brushes. This old brush was one of the first brushes that I was given to use with my acrylics when I first got into acrylics. Here you can see where that crimson is really making these flowers glow. I love this color so much. You can also see how it brings out the life in the chest of this bird. It has so much depth, and I simply could not get that with cadmium red. Cadmium red, it's great to use when you're trying to emulate something glowing, something bright. However, when you want something that has a little bit more depth and richness, I will recommend alizarin crimson. That word is so hard for me to say. Hopefully I can learn how to say it a little better soon. I might have to listen to some Bob Ross to figure that out. And here we go. Here's my finished bee eater surrounded by begonias. Up next is the letter C.